Hi, I'm Jamel Hamka, owner of Recherche Kennels in beautiful Statesville, North Carolina. What I'd like to do in this video is go into detail about our third level in our puppy training institute we call Master's Program. It begins at 16 weeks of age and ends at 20 weeks of age. It is 4 more weeks of training added on to the Canine College and the Puppy Academy. Our Puppy Training Institute program starts at 6 weeks of age, and this program ends at 20 weeks of age. So that is a total of 450 combined hours of all-inclusive training in the Master's Program. What I'd like to do in this video is to go into detail about the goals that we have for every 20-week-old puppy. We're going to show you typical puppies that have graduated. They are not the smartest students, they are not the dumbest students, they are average puppies, students at 20 weeks of age, so you can know what to expect from a puppy that has graduated Master's Program. The first pillar of our Puppy Training Institute is house training. It probably is the most important pillar in our Puppy Training Institute. In fact, we spend 2/3 of the amount of time in just this one pillar because it is so incredibly important. Now, we have many portions of house training. A lot of people think it's just potty training. It's not. That is the most important part of house training, but we do a lot more, and I'm going to go into detail. Now, a puppy at 12 weeks of age should be able to hold the restroom for 3 hours during the day. That's our goal for potty training. Now, typically they are not signaling, they are not letting us know they need to go to the restroom at this age, but some of them are starting to get that. The really advanced students will just start stopping at the door, barking, looking at you, giving us some sort of sign to let us know they need to use the restroom. But typically you have to let them outside every 3 hours. The other big part of house training is crate training. We train our puppies to eat in their crates, to sleep at their crates, and not to bark in their crate. And a puppy at 20 weeks of age should be able to sleep around 7 to 8 hours at night in a crate. That's a big difference. That's double what a 12-week-old, and it's better. 6 hours is about where a Canine College puppy and then a Master's Program puppy is 7 to 8 hours. So they're doing a lot better. Typically they'll sleep an entire night just like a regular person. The other portion of house training that we work extensively on is jump training. Puppies love to jump up on us, and it's cute when they're puppies, not so cute when they're adults. And if you have family over or friends over, it's not so fun. So we train them not to jump up. They love to jump up. It's probably the command that our house trainers give more than any other command is the word off. At 12 weeks of age, they're still jumping up, and we have to correct them. At 16 weeks of age, they're still jumping up, but the moment we say off, they jump down. At 20 weeks of age, they rarely jump up. They will many times self-correct themselves. They'll jump up and they'll immediately jump back down, but usually it's maybe once a day you'll get a puppy to jump up. It's very rare. The other part of house training is stair training. Puppies are naturally many times scared of stairs. A lot of our clients tell us their dogs won't go up and down stairs. Well, a puppy at 20 weeks of age not only are going up and down stairs, we have open stairs, open where you can see through, which is scary, and then we have closed. At the beginning, we're working up closed, and they're able to go up and down at a normal pace. While they're 20 weeks of age, we start going down the scarier ones, and they're able to go up and down at a normal pace, and down the closed staircase, they're able to go up and down much faster. So they're doing really good. And then the last part of house training is chew training. Many puppies love to chew, as you know, and so we have toys in the ground that they're allowed to chew, but we also have temptations. We have shoes, we have a rug, we have sometimes newspapers or an extension cord. Obviously, we can't prepare them for everything that's in every home, but we want them to know the word no, or a clap on the hands, and that lets them know that they need to stop chewing. A puppy at 20 weeks of age is chewing probably half as much as a puppy at 16 weeks of age. So they're maturing, they're understanding, they start learning what is and isn't acceptable, and if they start grabbing something they shouldn't, a quick correction, they immediately stop. Those are our house training goals for a 20-week-old. The second pillar of our Puppy Training Institute is obedience training. That is by far the most difficult of all the pillars because it takes a professional. And we do have professionals. We have certified dog trainers. These are not people we just picked up off of the streets. They've been training dogs for years. They're all certified. Most of them have been training dogs for many years before they came here. And so they know what they're doing. They're very good. And there's many areas that we work on. The first area that we work on is the sit command. Now, a puppy at 20 weeks of age will obey their sit command with words only, with a lead only, and then also with the hand signal only. So they have it mastered. That's why we like to call it master's program. We can say the word sit and they'll sit without any hand motions, without any words. If we point to, if we do this, that is sit, and we don't have to say anything. And then if you pull if you pull up on the lead, they will sit. So they can do it with hand signals only, with words only, and with the lead only. The second area that we work on is stay. That's a very difficult command because stay, it's just hard for a puppy to hold a stay. The great thing about a puppy at canine college, they can hold it about 10 seconds at a distance of 10 feet. A master's program has doubled that. They can hold it for 20 seconds at a distance of 20 feet with very, very mild distractions. We can start introducing distractions to them. A canine college or a puppy academy puppy, you can't really use any distractions. But a master's program pup and beyond, we start putting distractions down. We'll drop something on the ground, we'll bend over, that's very scary, or sometimes we'll literally sit on the ground or bend down and try to tempt them to break their stay. So a puppy at master's program can hold it for 20 seconds at a distance of 20 feet. Down, that is where we point to the ground. At this age, they know the command with words only. So if we say the word down, they will lay down. We also, if we take the lead, if you pull sideways and if you pull down, they will lay down on their own. They still don't have it with just the word or just the hand motion down. Some of them do, some of them are advanced, but right now our goal is for them to go down with word only, with lead only, and then a combination of lead and hand. The come command. A puppy at 12 weeks of age, you can only get them to come at a very short distance. Any distraction and they're done. You have to be a high, peppy voice. Come, 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 come. A puppy at 16 weeks of age, a canine college puppy, you can do it kind of at a normal voice. A puppy at 12 or 20 weeks of age, a master's program puppy, we try to lower our voice. So we say the word come. We don't want to use high pitch anymore. We will sometimes tempt them, we'll go down, and then we'll say the word come, and then they come to us. The place command, you want to buy the Chrondicott because it will help transfer the training from us to you. It helps work on the two most difficult commands of stay and come. We say the word place and they jump up on the Chrondicott. A puppy at this age can hold a place command for 25 seconds at a distance of 25 feet. We can also start introducing moderate distractions. We can throw toys in the ground. We can put things in the ground and try to tempt them to break their stay. They don't have to lay down. They just have to stay up on that elevated platform of the Chrondicott. But a puppy at 20 weeks of age is probably doing 2 times better at the place command than a puppy at 16 weeks of age. And then the last part of our obedience training is kennel training. Obviously we work on them sleeping in a kennel in house training, but an obedience trainer is going to work extensively on them going into a kennel on their own volition. We say kennel and they walk into the kennel on their own volition. We don't have to lure them. We don't have to trick them. The difference between a 20-week-old and a 16-week-old is we can actually open the doggy door and we can tempt them to leave that kennel without breaking their stay. So we'll open the kennel door at 20 weeks and the trainer will walk away and they know not to leave that kennel until they're given permission. We say the word okay or come and they will break out of that kennel. So a master's program puppy is much more mature, especially in obedience, than a puppy that's graduated canine college. The third pillar of our Puppy Training Institute is socialization. That may seem like a small thing, but it's a big thing because these puppies go through a pretty strong fear period, typically between 6 and 10 months of age. We know that going in. We know what they're afraid of. And so we try to introduce them to things ethically and professionally to try to eliminate or at least limit their fear period. Also, one of the biggest questions we get, the biggest worries we get is getting a puppy at 20 weeks of age. Will they bond with me and my family? The answer is emphatically yes. One, because they're a very social breed, but secondly, it's because of the socialization. If they were only around us, 1 or 2 people in one place their entire life until they went home at 20 weeks of age, they will have issues socially. They'll be afraid of things. They'll be afraid of you. They won't bond and love with you as much as they should if they are not socialized. So this is extremely important, especially a puppy in master's program and beyond. So we really break this down to two different parts. The first part is just desensitization, and that's getting them introduced to noises that can scare them. The most common areas that scare these puppies is one, thunderstorms. You have areas of stairs. You have hair dryer, the television, vacuum cleaners, grooming, the car. Those are areas that really scare puppies. And so we know that going into them. So as I mentioned earlier, we train them to go up and down stairs in obedience training and house training. We train them. That's desensitizing them. We have a very large 65-inch TV while we're house training them, and we're training them. We're not entertaining ourselves. We're trying to get them used to the television. We also have CDs that we play. We have a CD of just thunderstorms where we're playing it and we're turning it up so they're used to thunderstorms, so they're not going to have panic attacks. We have never had a puppy that left our puppy training institute ever that have ever had an issue with thunderstorms, and that's because of our socialization. We also though work on vacuum cleaners. We have a vacuum cleaner in house training that we literally just run, not to vacuum the floors, but to desensitize the pups. We have a CD that we play that's called City Sounds, and it's city sounds of New York City without the cussing. And we have fire trucks, and we have all these loud noises. We're trying to introduce it to them so that they can go to the country or they can go to the city and not have too many issues. Some areas that they're still going to be weak at is going to be things like the hair dryer. That's an area that takes the longest of all the area. They're doing really good with vacuum cleaners. Typically a puppy at 20 weeks of age literally looks at a vacuum cleaner and just thinks nothing of it. They're doing pretty well with car training. It's rare that they get car sick. Sometimes they do, but they're usually not stressed out about it. And then the second portion of our socialization, we just called socialization. And this is probably the biggest difference between a 20-week-old and a 16-week-old. A puppy at Canine College is just inoculated. They have all of their shots. And it's not until they're fully shotted up, they got all their shots, that we start taking them on field trips. So a master's program puppy, we will take them on field trips typically once a week. We'll take them to some designated area to introduce them to other places and to other people. So we'll take them to Lowe's. We'll take them to Tractor Supply. We'll take them to southern states, places that allow us to take dogs or even into our little downtown city, and so that they get introduced to different people, different environments, and it really helps them to learn different places, and so they're not so scared when they go to different places. And that's what the big thing about a master's program puppy and above is they can go anywhere. They're fully shot, and we were able to give them on field trips and constant field trips. They're able to get a much more car riding experience, and so it really helps them with their socialization. The fourth and final pillar of our Puppy Training Institute is outside training, and that breaks up into three main sections. The first and the biggest one is leash training. These puppies love to pull on a leash. It's probably one of the most common problems with puppies in general is that they pull, they tug, and it's very important to get your puppy to master this command. Otherwise, it's going to cause more issues than just walking on a leash. It's going to have issues of them having dominance issues with you. They won't learn to respect you. We work at a very young age, from 6 weeks on up, to get them to walk on our left side to do the auto sit. The great thing about a puppy at 20 weeks of age, they've had this mastered. They rarely don't auto sit. When we stop walking, they automatically sit. What that does is that builds focus and it builds respect. They look at you and they really respect you and they really listen to you. And if they ever not sit, auto sit, you pop on that leash and they'll respond. They're probably 2 to 3 times better leash trained at 20 weeks of age than they are at 12 weeks of age. So they're doing much better. Also, something that's new with master's program than with Canine College is that we start getting them to walk with different people. Up to that point, they're basically trained with one person walking a leash. We'll get them to walk on a leash with a different trainer and start introducing them to another trainer. It's not until doggy doctorate that we switch their trainers completely, but we introduce it to them from the ages of 16 weeks to 20 weeks so they'll learn to walk on a leash with someone else besides their trainer. The second area that we work on is car training. Now, obviously I mentioned that earlier with socialization, but the great thing about a master's program puppy is they have all of their shots. They're fully inoculated at 16 weeks of age. And so the entire time of master's program, we're able to take them anywhere and everywhere we want to. And so we give them on car rides constantly, and we'll take them on weekly field trips. And so they're used to riding in cars. They're much better car trained at 20 weeks than they are at 16 weeks because they can be. And then the last area is weather permitting, and that is swim training. We do not introduce them to swim training if the weather's cold. We do not have a heated pool, and so the only way we can get them to swim is a pool that we have. And of course, we only use that about 8 months of the year. If it's cold, if it's December, November, December, January, February, so maybe about 4 months of the year, we don't want to throw them in water. It will have the negative effect. It will actually scare them. So we get them in the pool and we get them swimming. We'll take them out on a swim trip, and we'll take them out swimming on a weekly or bi-weekly basis so that at least they're used to water and they're not going to drown. So that is the fourth and the final pillar of our Puppy Training Institute.